Hey there, it's Scott Bywater here, and I'm going to be running, I'm quite excited because I'm going to be running an event in Canberra on the 25th of October. So that's going to be coming up next week, and it's going to be about how to write Facebook ads, LinkedIn ads, Google ads, emails, and social media posts that sell. So that's what we're going to be focusing on. So, just for example, one of the things I've written, hundreds of headlines over the years, and no matter what you're doing, whether it's a Facebook post or a Google AdWords post or anything like that, one of the most important things you can do is actually get people to click on the ad. Now, there's a four-letter word which I have found as a result of writing hundreds of headlines that is the most powerful word you can use to actually get click through. So I'm going to be revealing that at this Canberra event. That's what I'm going to be doing. That's next Wednesday. Now, the link to go to is smallbusinessintelligence.com.au/event. That's where I'm going to be discussing that. Now, I'm also going to be looking at, what's the biggest mistake that people actually make and business owners actually make on their website, which cripples their website's ability to actually succeed. So I'm going to be really looking at that and how effective it actually is. And as well as that, we're going to be looking at how do we actually build trust with our target market before they actually meet us, so that once we get them on the phone, it becomes easier and easier and easier to actually generate the sale, and we get a much higher, conversion rate. So all of this is going to be discussed in my event in Canberra next week on the 25th of October. We're going to have an evening first, where I'm going to talk about all this stuff, and then we're going to have a workshop the next day. So that is something I'm really looking forward to. So if you're in Canberra or if you're nearby, come and join me, because we're going to have some really great tips to share, which will make everything you're doing, online and offline, more effective and efficient. So look forward to seeing you in Canberra next week if you can make it. It should be a great night and a great day. Okay, so that's my Canberra pitch. Just wanted to say hello to. I saw a few people pop on. Hi, Teresa. How are you? So that's that's that. I want to talk about as well, now that I'm on Facebook Live, how to do something like if you need to promote something. So you'll notice there that what I actually what I actually did was I took something. I looked at what's the event going to be about, and then I would put little teaser points in there, which would encourage someone to actually come to the event. So in your business, that's something that you can quite easily do as well. So, so if let's say you've got you're selling beds, you could say something along the lines of, the number one mistake that people make when they actually, when they buy a bed. And people actually, want to know, what is that mistake? And therefore that actually encourages them to, to purchase that bed, or to get that report and then go on and purchase that bed. So the more specificity you can bring to anything that you do, the more powerful it is likely to be. And there's four things you really want to you want to cover and touch on in any headline that you do. And I learned them years ago, but I apply them whenever I write headlines today. And I write a number of headlines, probably about 6 different headlines, email headlines for a client each week. And, I see the actual split test results of them. And there's a checklist I go through after I've created the headline just to see if I can sharpen that headline up at all. And I call it the 4 U's. So the 4 U's are basically unique. So is this headline actually unique? That's the first thing I look at. The next thing I look at is this headline actually useful? So is it does it if I read it, does it provide any use to me straight away? Is it urgent? So is it something which I need to act on now, and is it ultra specific? So is it something like, an example of ultra specificity would be, we could say, mistakes people make when they cook fish. Or we could say that, the top mistake people make when they cook fish, or you could say the three biggest mistakes people make when they cook fish. So that gives it that specificity. Now, if we want to give it urgency, we could say something like, the top mistake, the number one mistake people make when they cook fish, which makes them sick. And let's say it's in summer, which makes them sick in summer. So that gives the urgency, because if you're in the middle of summer, or let's say in Christmas, so let's say you're in Christmas, you could say the number one mistake people make when they cook fish, at Christmas time, which makes their family sick, or on Christmas Day, which makes their family sick. So you can get that really gives it, and it gives it that push through. Hey Hassan, how are you? Hope all is well in Sydney. So it gives you that, it gives it that urgency. So we've seen, useful is obviously you want to make it so someone wants to actually read and wants to click through. So how to write usefulness. Let's say you're writing to electricians. Well, it's much more useful if it says how to write a great ad for electricians. That ups its usefulness, usefulness sort of thing. And uniqueness is just like, you've got to really look at what else is happening out there in the marketplace, and does this actually pop? Because what we notice, if you can imagine, if you're walking through a shopping mall, and there's like, there's 100 people in that shopping mall, and one of them's got this crew cut with his hair sort of going up like that, and everyone else looks pretty much normal. The unique guy is the guy that you spot. So you want your headline to be unique, but also to have a message to market match. So I don't mean that you need to have a crew cut, but you need it to have that uniqueness, and to make it pop. And that's what you want to be looking at with your headlines. So let's say we take this. Hassan's in the web development space. If we look at this from that sort of space, we could say something. Let's apply this principle. So usefulness might be like how to design a website so that it sells more. If we want to add the uniqueness to this, we might say something along the lines of, the 7 biggest mistake, the 7 biggest mistakes business owners make with their website, which makes them cry, or something like that, to bring that through. And remember, this is a process, so that's not necessarily the best headline. If I'm writing a headline properly, I'll probably spend 40 minutes. You'll write you write at least 20 headlines, and then you'll mull over it. So you're circling it, and you're waiting for that thing that really pops. So the urgency could be, that's making you lose money today, or how much money did you lose on your website this week because you made this single mistake. So that can really cut it through, get you that cut through with your website as well. So so these are the sort of things that you want to consider, when you're creating an actual website. And I'm going to be digging into this a lot more detail in Canberra next week on the 25th of October, which is going to be really exciting, because I'm going to be deep diving into these topics and supplying lots of examples and that sort of thing, and giving it some real depth. And we're also going to have like a workshop where within this workshop you're actually going to be able to get in. And I see my wife just joined. Hi, Helen. She's upstairs in the same house, but we're actually going to be going into this this workshop, and you're going to get the opportunity to to ask me questions and for me to deep dive on your specific specific business. So that's the sort of stuff I like, because I really love, because it brings this stuff to life, and it takes it from from being a being a theory to being a to being something which is really applicable and applicable to your business, which is where we really get the amazing breakthroughs with the whiteboard and all of that sort of thing. So look forward to seeing you there. Should be if you can make it. I know some of you watching are from the other side of the world, but if you can make it, it'll be it could be a real game changer for you, because this is the real key to making your Google AdWords, making your Facebook ads, making your emails work more effectively. So you get, for the same ad spend, you're getting a much higher return on investment. So that's it for now. Thanks for tuning in. Great to see, great to see some familiar faces here, and look forward to seeing you in Canberra next week if you can make it. All for now.